Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca Meisel, for May 15th through to the 22nd. Welcome, my friends. What an amazing week ahead that we have planned. But first and foremost, I want to just apologize for any sort of outside noises. I am doing this on the road today. I've recently been working a lot on the road, so I'm trying to do these readings as I have a break and I'm able to do so. So please forgive any sort of outdoor noises. But regardless, without further ado, let's dive in. So this week we have some beautiful themes, and our first theme of this week is hold your horses. So after our Mercury retrograde, we have quite this introspective time that's coming in forward from that, and we're almost being called to slow down and just continue that review. Now that we've finished off Mercury retrograde as of the 15th, what did we learn? What healing came forward for us? What sort of things are we needing to gain enlightenment and growth from? So we're being asked to slow down at the beginning of this week here and to continue our loving work, to continue looking into what's important now that we've gained this clarity of what's not been working. How do we want to proceed? How do we want to move forward? And how do we want to course correct starting today? So what I'm really hearing can help us to bring about that balance and help nurture our spirits at this time and keep us grounded and moving forward is once again nature. So nature has been such a huge theme the past while, and especially with this new rise of divine feminine energy and empowerment, that very strong theme that's been with us for this past year or longer. We're really being called to retreat to nature and let nature support us with those energies. So what I was really hearing is nature is helping us learn to flow, to trust, and to drop into surrender. So what I was really hearing was this energy of being held. And whenever I hear that expression of being held, I always think of the universe and us simply laying in the hands of the universe with such a trust and such a surrender that we know that everything is going to happen just as it should. We have that complete bliss, and I often think of the universe as that loving parent or guardian that's now there to support you. And when you're little and you're a child, we tend to rely on that guardian, that person that we know loves us, is going to be there for us. And so I'm really hearing that that's the attitude that we need to start really cultivating, because there still might be these themes of unknown that are still present. And I'm really hearing to ride out that wave with trust. So what I wrote here was we may want to dive in head first, but this is a continuation of rest and fulfillment. So what I really heard was, at the end of this Mercury retrograde, we might be anxious to get going. We might be anxious to dive into our new tasks and be like, okay, now that all this time of confusion and chaos is coming to an end, I'm really anxious to move forward with my plans. But what I'm hearing is slow down, take a breath, and take things one step at a time. Remember to make the most of the current energies. And if you're being called to slow down, if you're being called to listen to your body right now and go slowly and gently, that is the approach that we need to take. And once more, they're bringing in this divine feminine and masculine in balance. So they're bringing in this reminder, remember, now that we've learned how to cultivate more of this divine feminine approach, to not lose track of that just because things are falling more into place. How do we want to move forward now with more ease and grace, or force and struggle and strive? So they're really reminding us, slow down and let things flow. So what I wrote here, what channeled was, what can you give yourself to help you move into the state of bliss? And so what was really cool is during this time of rest and fulfillment, we're really being called to contemplate that. What would make us feel blissful? What would make our human existence more beautiful, more fulfilling, more filled with purpose? And your unique purpose. So I'm really seeing that theme rise up this week, where we might be contemplating that. We might be wondering, like, okay, why am I here? What am I feeling moved to do? What is it that I am being called to right now? And I'm hearing that some of it might be surprising, where it's like, oh, I didn't realize my purpose was this simple. As an example, all of our purpose is to be authentic, is to be the truest version of ourselves, and whatever that means for you. And whatever gives you that light, that joy in your life, that's what we're meant to be doing right now. So I'm hearing it's like, don't make too big of a mountain out of this, where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to be doing this huge thing. It's like, no, when we go to hike or we go to ascend a mountain, what do we do to get to the top? We take it one step at a time. We can't just magically get there. We have to take one step at a time. So once more, we're being called to take in the scenery, enjoy the journey, and really contemplate what's going to give you that heartfelt bliss. This week is a theme of heartfelt conversation. So really being able to put everything out there and to really navigate and plan for success. So I was really seeing a lot of us get technical, a lot of us like go over the details, but also go into the daydream of this, right? Because a lot of times when we plan our futures, we tend to be very rigid in that, where it's like, okay, very logical. What do we need to do? This is exacts, what are the steps I need to take? But we're like, yes, that's important, absolutely. But what I'm hearing is, don't forget to go into your dreams and into your future with this mindset of miracles, this mindset of play, this mindset of fun. So many times we can get lost in the logic of things, and it almost spoils the aspect of dreaming, right? And so what I'm really hearing, it's like, lay everything out on the table. And when you're having these conversations, perhaps with your loved ones or your friends, or even just yourself in your own inner dialogue, bring that awareness, like, okay, how can I stay miracle minded? How can I really look forward to this future and play in my daydreams, as opposed to, talking myself out of them? Or maybe right now you're not seeing the exact full picture, and maybe you're feeling discouraged, where it's like, is this actually possible? Can I actually logically do this right now? And we might have that fear that drops in. But I'm really hearing that we need to push past that and go like, but the universe is on my side. The universe wants me to have these things. And they're showing me the universe has planted this seed, this desire in your heart for a reason, for a purpose. And it's so important that we recognize that the things we actually want are for a reason. So it's like, how can I remember that? How can I stay miracle minded and let the universe co-create with me? I don't have to figure it all out by myself. So they're really saying, ask for help. Remember to call in your guides and utilize them to assist you with your forward movements. So have those conversations, discuss with the universe, discuss with your loved ones. Put it out there, because I'm hearing when we speak our desires, it helps them blossom. It helps them manifest. It helps the creative process really come through. So I'm really hearing, speak the desires of your heart and play in those possibilities. So really, really beautiful. So from there, we have a theme of regarding our partners. So this was really interesting. I really was getting this very much so in the theme of romantic partnership. Now, take what resonates here. This could go for friendships as well, or family members, but I was really seeing specifically these messages for romantic relationships this week. So I'm really hearing we need to move into this state of regard, of valuing our partners. And what was really cool is, through Mercury retrograde, we might have had some hiccups, which is very, very common. A lot of us tend to have that through that chaotic time where our relationships come into question. We start really needing to course correct, or we notice things that we don't like, and it can be a bit more of that challenging time. But what I'm hearing now, it's like, let's move back into that state of where we start admiring our partners, we start loving our partners, and really showing that appreciation, because I'm seeing this growth that's happened over this time period. that needs to be nurtured. So what they're kind of showing me and putting in this question was, how can you show your love and appreciation? Okay, so once more, we might have been really focused on the negative aspects of our partner or this person or our situations throughout Mercury retrograde. But I'm hearing we are needing to shift this now. It's like, okay, if we've done that work, it's time to move forward. It's time to let go of the past and move forward now. We're learning from our mistakes. We're learning from the instances that we've gone through. So what can we take away from this so we can move forward? So if that is what you've decided to do and you're like, I want to keep in this relationship, I want to move forward, I want to fall back in love together, I want to nurture this relationship, this is the way to do that. So I'm really hearing like, how can I value my partner? How can we value each other? How can we improve and create more love between us? So I'm seeing us brainstorm ideas. I'm seeing highlighted a date night. So they just showed me a calendar and then the words date night circled on a certain date. So I'm hearing some pre-planning might be involved. We might need to actually schedule in those times. And they're really showing me like we're in this forward movement right now where we might be getting busy, with the awakening of spring and summer. We tend to get that added boost of energy. So we might have a full schedule, but I'm hearing make time. Make time to show up for your partner. Make time to make them a priority. And I'm really hearing it's time to put on our rose-colored glasses. So what they were showing me was actual like memorabilia, things we are looking at that makes us feel more reminiscent about our partner, and asking those questions like, what made me fall in love with my partner in the first place? What was it that drew me to them? What were those qualities? And how can I start remembering all the beautiful aspects of them, especially if you've gone through more challenges recently? It's so important to keep that fresh in your mind and to not lose sight of the precious things you do have, and to put more of that effort and value into your partner. So I was seeing some of us actually show our love, so that was very encouraged. It's like, how can we pour more love into our partner? How can we make them feel appreciated? So what expressions of love did they need, and how can we start giving that to them? So they're bringing awareness to the love languages here as well. So how does your partner receive love, and how can you meet that need? So as an example, they're showing me like if your partner is physical touch, even if that's not your specific love language, how can you still meet that need? So can you have, a cuddle? Can you give them a hug and embrace and make them feel that love in that way that they receive it? So I'm highly recommending the 5 love languages. So really look into that if you haven't heard of them before. Really, really important. So I'm hearing that will be very helpful when we're moving forward to help our partners feel nurtured and loved. And then vice versa, right? Making our needs known to our partner and having that dual give and take. So really, really beautiful. So from there, I'm seeing a theme of vacation. So this makes a lot of sense because as of next week, we have a long weekend, depending on where you're located, but I believe where I am here, we have a long weekend, and a lot of people love to plan and get away and have that time. So what I was really seeing is if you're planning a vacation, or just in general even, to really classify specifically your needs, what you want out of that. So I'm seeing you time be very, very highlighted. So how can you plan a day or certain activities that you personally are interested in that will help you have a full cup? So once again, coming into the full 5 love languages here, like what are your needs? How do you receive love? How does your love cup need to be filled? So I'm seeing if you're planning a vacation, make sure that you plan things in a way that are going to meet your needs, that make you feel relaxed, that make you feel nurtured and held and loved. So really prioritize the you time. And I'm seeing a lot of us need to almost shut out the world right now. We need to have this bubble of bliss. That's what I like to call it. If you've been following me for a while, you've probably heard this expression many times from me. And it's just such a beautiful example of being in your own bubble, being in your own world for a while. And I'm really seeing that's really needed, especially if you've been having a harder time with such chaotic energy the past while. A lot of us we need a break. We need this recoup time where it's like, okay, the energies are settling. I need to get back to feeling rejuvenated, feeling good, and we can really do that by creating that bubble. So what is that for you? What does that look like for you? You know, do you want to reorganize your home? Do you want to redecorate? Do you want to have things, a space that feels really welcoming and calming? Because they're actually showing me that a lot of us might be holding on to residual clutter. So maybe it's time to do a bit of a spring cleanup. Maybe it's time to donate some things, remove things from your space that are making you feel more chaotic. So I'm really hearing it's like those little things we can do for ourselves. And even when we go and approach this in a way of vacationing, it's like, okay, what's going to give me that top up? What's going to make me have fun and help me really relax and meet those needs? So what I heard was, what is it you need to do for yourself? What can you do just because? So a lot of times we feel like we need a reason to treat ourselves, or it's like, oh, but I should, utilize my time or energy or funds in this way. But it's like, no, what if you just did it because you want to? And that's that, not overthinking it, not overdoing it. So I'm really hearing treat yourself, and then they showed me like food, a fancy dinner, maybe that will be that date night, but really, really encouraging you to live life. Life is happening for us every single day. And one of the points is life is worth celebrating every day. You don't have to wait for a holiday to celebrate life. You don't have to wait till your birthday to look after yourself or treat yourself. Loving yourself so much that each day you take as that opportunity to really meet your needs and cater to yourself is so, so important. So what came next was celebrate a job well done. Don't conserve joy. Allow yourself to celebrate, be joyful, even if it's not a special occasion. So really beautiful. I'm seeing a lot of endings that have happened for us as well over this Mercury retrograde time frame. So they're really saying honor that, like honor those endings and celebrate them because they're worth celebration. So from there, we have removing toxicity. So what did Mercury retrograde expose? What's ready for growth, expansion, or total release in your life? So I'm really seeing this theme of toxicity in really any avenue. So this might even be in our health. Maybe we need a physical detox. Maybe we got awareness of where our health isn't very strong or where we need to make course corrections and improvements. Maybe it was in our relationships. Maybe it was in our work environment. And what I'm really hearing is like important to analyze that. So once again, taking that time out right now to go slow and really analyze that. Like, what in each area of my life, what did I learn? What was coming up for exposure, for release, for change? And I'm just seeing someone go through in their journal where they literally mark each area, like work environment, health, relationships, going under those headings and then kind of writing what they learned throughout this experience, throughout this time, and really going through what changes they want to make. So this was really perfect because they were really showing us making these course corrections and then doing it through joy. A lot of times when we notice things come up in our health or in our in any avenue in life, it's not always nice. We're like, oh shoot, I should be better. I should make this change. We can get really hard on ourselves and down on ourselves with it. But what I'm hearing is like, we're wanting to switch that. We're wanting to go with this approach of joy where it's like, okay, how can I make this once again for me? How can I make this change for me as a good thing, as something I'm happy about doing, and not making force or the societal standard the motivation for change. So they really were illuminating this motivation of the wrong reasons. So a lot of times we have those false motivators of fear, well, I should do this because this might happen, or I should do this because society dictates that this is how I must be or how I must look or portray myself. And so they're really telling us to be mindful of that. Like, what is your motivation for this change? And to be very mindful that you're not making change for the wrong reasons. We want to make change because we love ourselves. We love ourselves so much that we're going to do what's best for our health. We're going to do what's best for our relationships. We're going to do it because we have that love-based motivation. So really, really showing me here that is super important to be mindful of as we go through this correlation. And a little bit of this review. So what I wrote here was, let love lead the way. And what was really interesting is they actually showed me and kind of gave me this feeling of being suffocated a little bit, with the throat chakra being very tight and almost like hands over my throat. So it's like, where are we suffocating ourselves? And where are we our own worst enemy? So what really came up here was, where are we giving ourselves impossible standards? Where are we falling under the false belief of perfectionism? And where are we suffocating our greatness? Where are we bombarding ourselves with so many standards that we can't breathe? And that's what I was really seeing, was like, we need to let go. We need to have this release and welcome in the freedom that comes with that when we start moving through love, when we let love motivate us forward. It's like releasing all those things that we thought we should be or thought we need to do, and instead flipping the script. So hopefully I'm explaining this in an easier way to understand, but the biggest thing is letting go of those impossible standards. And if you are interested in learning a little bit more about that, I actually did a whole podcast recently on that, where I've been going through that journey where I'm learning to let go, I'm learning to release, and it's always this constant process. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that out on The Spiritualist, my podcast, my most recent episode. So how we can let go of these things, they were giving us some kind of practical ceremonies and rituals that might be very effective for us. And it's so funny because I always am blown away when I do these ceremonies at how powerful they are, because a lot of times we can logically know, okay, I need to let go of something, or is this ritual really going to help me feel any better? But it's amazing when you do it and how good you feel. So they're giving me examples like the burning ceremonies that we can do. So where we write down our problems, we write down our impossible standards, our perfectionism, whatever it is that's on your mind and you're ready to release, we write it on paper and then we burn it in the fire. So whether you want to have a campfire and do this, whether you want to do it with a candle, I like to use an old pot that I have, and I just light it on fire in the old pot. And of course, making sure you're doing this very safely, not in areas that are easily caught fire or flames. So be very mindful when you do this practice. But when you do it in a safe way, it can really be healing. And it's amazing to do that ritual and ceremony. So burning ceremonies were really highlighted. Yoga was another thing that was really coming up to help us physically move our bodies and release emotion, release things from the physical as well. Because they were really showing me emotions being stored in the muscles, and then they were showing me the muscles being pulled out, stretched. So yoga would be highly recommended this week, as well as they're also showing me massage. So massage might be another thing to book for yourself to get that massage and release from the physical body. So from there, we have a theme of reaching your destination. So this is really exciting because I feel like so many of us have been working so hard on our healing journey, on our projects, on these things that we've been almost like a long time coming is kind of the feeling I'm getting. So they're saying, be proud of your accomplishments. You've done it. So there's something that we're accomplishing this week. There's something that we're needing to celebrate. So really, really do that. So they're saying, celebrate your wins. What have you overcome? What have you accomplished? And what I'm seeing is actual external praise and validation come in. I'm also getting a lot of commendation, compliments. They actually showed me like shoulder slaps where it's like, congratulations, you are awesome. This is awesome. You know, like somebody giving you those compliments this week. So wherever this is relative in your life, I'm hearing soak it up. It's so important for you to really let this love come in, and giving yourself that praise of what you've done is amazing. So once more, maybe there's been something you've been working on behind the scenes. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's something more personal. But whatever you've done, do it with pride. Whatever you've accomplished, celebrate it. And let others celebrate with you. Let others really celebrate your joy, and to share that experience, the magic of that moment. So what I wrote was, you are amazing. Rejoice in you. So definitely someone or something is being accomplished this week. You're accomplishing something significant. And what really came through was, this has been like a lifelong dream. This is fated. This is destiny. And whatever this is for you, it has been divinely guided. Okay? So really, really beautiful. I'm seeing our dreams are really coming in. Our manifestations might be coming in more quick this week. And a big highlight on our light workers this week, keep up your loving work, okay? So it's really, really hearing that's very relevant. Any light workers that are listening right now, keep going. What you are doing, what you are accomplishing, every small step you're making is making such a dramatic impact. And they're showing me you don't even know. So they just show me you like a 1 foot being placed forward and the energy rippling out. So with that, it's like, your actions, every step that you make is rippling out that love, is having an effect on the world and the environment and the people around you. So do not give up your loving work. Keep going. You deserve to be celebrated for what you are doing. So give yourself that pat on the back. You are amazing. So then I heard, this is only the beginning. This is just the first step. So whatever this thing is that we're doing is going to have ripple effects, is going to echo out, is going to propel more. And what they showed me was a snowball rolling down a hill. And when we create a snowball, it only gets bigger and bigger as it rolls down the hill, collecting more snow. So that's what they were showing me, was this forward momentum that's building and building and creating a larger and larger snowball. So with that example, it's like, whatever it is you're working on is going to truly get bigger and bigger. And so some of you, if you're on social media, if you are working on that kind of thing, what I'm seeing is you're about to go viral. You're about to go mainstream. There's some sort of recognition that's coming in. And that might be just for a few of you. Take what resonates here, but this was really coming through and I heard it was important. Somebody needed to hear this encouragement, okay? What you are working on is going to be recognized, is going to be dramatically impacting the world around you. So do not forget how powerful your actions are now and how every single step matters. So I'm seeing recognition, I'm seeing leadership, and I'm really hearing this energy of get ready. Get ready, because things are really going to start moving and spearheading now. So what an amazing week we have, my friends. So much to celebrate, so many beautiful things to come in to help us release, to help us create space, to help us really move into our authenticity and maneuver life on our terms. You know, it's so beautiful, because what I really feel with this energy is we have the beautiful balance of the slowdown and then the forward momentum, and it's like we're learning to navigate both energies. We're learning how to really bring into harmony the divine feminine and masculine and execute those energies properly, where life becomes more balanced, where life becomes, this beautiful experience that's happening for us. And what they're showing me is this flower blooming and expanding because you're no longer worn out. You're no longer just playing in one side of your energy. You're utilizing both sides and you're feeling fulfilled. You're being watered. You're being planted. You're being nurtured. You're given sun, all of these things. And it's really inspiring. So let this week's energies really motivate you to do life on your terms, to help you really step into yourself and to complete those beautiful projects that you are being called to complete right now. And let love be that motivation every single step of the way. So don't forget how you matter. All the little steps that we're doing have an impact when we do it through love. So my friends, enjoy this week ahead. If I can be of service to you at all, please let me know. I will leave my details below. Sending you all so much love and light. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye.